Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Pokémon Violet. In the last episode, we took on the frostbitten might of the icy cold Sub-Zero Shredder, known best as Brescia of Glacido Gym, and with the end of not only our Victory Road Gym Badge collection, but our Titanic-sized Path of Legends Badge collection now officially being under our belts. And the fact is, well, let's be honest here, when we did finish off our Path of Legends, we fought off with two Titanic-sized Pokemon, one being a Dondozo, which is a giant catfish monster of, let's be honest here, it's a complete monstrosity in size, which is terrifying. Just 34 feet in general for a Pokemon is scary. And then Tatsugiri, the little sushi dragon. Honestly, pretty interesting, just in general for that. But, with that being said, there is only one set of challenges left before we head off to whatever awaits us at the end of each of these three stories. We've been sent off the pawn since the start of our treasure hunt, so is Starfall Street now officially our tip-top priority. It's finally time to start getting to the bottom of the seemingly unjust war against the bosses of Team Star and seemingly rotten path Cassiopeia has been tricking us into, thinking that, well, honestly, that we were doing, honestly, let's be honest here, we thought we were doing the good thing this entire time. But let's be honest here, I really don't think Team Star's the villain. I really don't. And with the fact that we don't really know much about Cassiopeia herself, we don't even know if she's the villain either. So, yeah, there's a lot going on there, and who really knows, but I will be honest, I am truly invested, and I am ready to figure out these final pieces of this crazy puzzle once we finally deal with Team Star, because I don't think we're going to get our answers until we at least get to Aerie, because I feel like by then we will know for sure what's really going on. Because we now know that there is a story past this kind of stuff. Because the fact is, let's be honest here, we look at, for, just in general for Victory Road, obviously you'll head to the championship area. Obviously, you know, head to the champion. It doesn't look like Victory Road actually is in this game, which is weird. But Victory Road is the storyline, which is interesting. But, other than that, for Arven, with the Path of Legends, we need to head back to where we first met both Miraidon and Arven at the Poco Path Lighthouse for the final part of the Path of Legends story, which I don't even know if it's the final part, since there's still more that seems to be behind these storylines. But with that being said, two more Team Star members left, Ortega and Aerie, both being two different types, obviously, one being fairy and one being fighting. But, with that being said, Ortega is our next target. So, Starfall Street, Fairy Crew Boss, storming the Fairy Crew's base, Ortega of the Ruck Boss Squad, boss of Team Star's Fairy Crew, said to be second strongest of the Team Star bosses. His family owns an apparel brand, famed even in Paldea. He constantly looks down on others, perhaps due to his cushy upbringing. And with that being said, we set our destination, and honestly, prepare for whatever may come from taking on our, well, second to last Team Star boss. Since everything we've learned about all those Team Star members up to this point is they're all technically, you know, not bad guys at all. And they never were, based on what we understand. But that doesn't mean that we're for sure, you know, in the right there either. Because the thing is, nobody really knows much about Team Star, and based on what we learned, well, apparently the kids that are, you know, kids that are getting bullied just like Team Star's bosses were, actually thank the Team Star members for helping them. So, I Oh my goodness, is that a shiny Sneasel? Okay then, I was not ready for a shiny in this adventure, and we just found ourselves a shiny Sneasel. Okay then, well that's kind of cool. I talked about me letting Kraken play a little bit of Violet before he actually buys the game, and he ended up finding a Hoppip, a shiny Hoppip, the green version of Hoppip, and wow, okay, we finally found a Sneasel. Or, not a Sneasel, but in specific, but we found a shiny Pokemon. That is insane. Okay, then. Well, I don't have a Quick Ball. And I don't think I have a Sneasel under my belt already. But we do have some Nest Balls. So let's try and throw that on this Pokemon. Because it might work. Because I want to go with something easy. Because I don't want this thing to, knock itself out. Or do anything weird. And this is a complete sidetrack to everything we were doing, but let's be honest here, a shiny Pokemon is something we cannot pass up, because the last time we had a shiny Pokemon, and let's be honest here, the first shiny Pokemon of our adventures was in a fan game, being our Whimsicots. So, for, obviously, because we played two of them. We played, Uranium as well as... What was the other name? Because the thing is... Why can't I remember the name of it? Huh, that's weird. But, yeah, we got a shiny Whimsicots in the second fan game we played. And, well, honestly, I'm quite surprised that we found an actual shiny in a non-fan game. Which is insane because, well, let's be honest here, this is the first time this has ever happened in general, so I'm actually pretty happy about this, because the thing is before I actually, started doing YouTube and doing all this stuff, I actually did do shiny hunting on my own, so it's actually kind of cool to see a shiny Pokemon in a series, knowing my past of doing, actual shiny hunting with a shiny charm and, trying to find shiny Pokemon and stuff like that. And mostly with breeding, because I was doing, competitive breeding. I never actually played competitive, but I would make competitive Pokemon for, in-game single-player stuff. So, honestly, this is pretty cool. Nonetheless. And I think this is the first time I've actually ever seen a shiny Sneasel / what will be a Weavile myself, honestly. So that's kind of cool. Because this is a Pokemon I've actually never had myself in a shiny form. So this is actually pretty cool. Although it's hard to catch it for some reason. I don't want to hit it because I feel like I'm going to knock it out. But I can go for a Timer Ball now. So let's try that. Since technically at this point this would be on par with a Legendary. And I usually save my Timer Balls for Legendaries now. Since we found out how good those were in Diamond and Pearl, because my first time really using Timer Balls was in Diamond and Pearl, but I knew they were good. It's just I never had a surplus of them, like I did in that series. So we definitely finally got the Sneasel there. And honestly, that's a pretty cool ball to have a shiny Pokemon in, so I'll take it. And we also got a Pokédex entry, so I have never actually caught this Pokemon in this game, so our very first Sneasel in this game is a shiny, which is pretty cool. So number 230, Sneasel, the Sharp Claw Pokemon. Dark Ice. This is a smart and sneaky Pokemon. A pair may work together to steal eggs. By having one lure the parents away. 2 foot 11 inches, 61.7 pounds. And I'll send it off to the box for now, but we might actually pull the Sneasel out later, because I don't know what they're going to be doing later in this game's life cycle. So we might actually have a reason to pull Sneasel out, because you never know. Maybe there'll be another Cow Tundra, or even just in general Isle of Armor, kind of like with Sword and Shield. So we might have a reason to, come back and do some of that, because it seems like, based on what I've been hearing, there's, secret files in the game's code that might suggest that there might be more story later, which is interesting. I don't know much about it, but apparently there's another legendary other than Miraidon that's not in the game, which is weird. So I don't know much about that, so I'm just going to bring that up, and that's all I really know. But that's still weird, though, because that does definitely implicate a lot more, is definitely in the works for later, and we'll definitely, you know, have more to do later, which is cool to hear, just because, you know, we definitely will come back, because we did that with Isle Armor and Crown Tundra, we came back, so I'll definitely do more once we, you know, have the chance to. But let's make our way up to the top here with our new ability for, you know, obviously doing our last of the Path of Legend stuff. Let's get a good jump here, because we're going to need to make quite a distance here. And I see where we need to be, because it's over by the lighthouse based on the mapping. So we're definitely going to... Oh, I did not mean to take my wings out. Oops. Well, that was unfortunate. Not my intention. But wasn't the worst thing. Definitely wasn't a bad thing, but it does actually, you know, still get us to where we need to be. But we do want to mark down this Pokemon Center on our way, just in general, because, let's be honest here, any kind of teleportation or flying that we can have outside of Miraidon is still good, just because of the fact that Miraidon doesn't fly forever, so we can't use this, you know, glide to the max effectives, what we could use. But there we go, now we have this marked down, where we're getting closer, and it looks like the whole lighthouse is actually Team... That's interesting, so the whole Team Rockbuck, like, squad is entirely, like, this whole entire base, which is interesting. Huh. And also some flamingos there. But, honestly, here we go. Our second to last Team Star boss. We're finally upon it. And good old, good old Clavell, or Clive, as we should say. But here we go. Spooks. Operation Starfall is going well, wouldn't you say? Only 2 bosses left now. This whole experience has been eye-opening to say the least. I'm glad I could take part. Honestly, it was pretty cool to have you around here, Clavell. I'll definitely be honest. So, honestly, it's been nothing but fun. I'll definitely say that when we're with Clavell for sure. I still feel like we're the bad guys based on, you know, what we're finding out about Team Star's bosses. And, you know, nothing good is coming out of what we're doing. But technically, we are bringing them back to the school based on, you know, Clavell using this as an opportunity to talk to the bosses and kind of tell them, hey, you need to come back to Uva Academy, or we'll have to expel you and stuff like that. So, he's trying to help them. Cassiopeia is trying to destroy them, and we're trying to learn more about them. There's definitely a bunch of layers to the story. And, honestly, we need more answers than really, you know, a war with Team Star. We really need more answers to be able to help them, more than, you know, destroy them like Cassiopeia wants us to do. Let's continue. But I'm curious, Spooks. What do you think of Cassiopeia? They can't be trusted. They're doing the right thing. They're a bag of riddles. I really don't know. I really don't think they can be trusted. That's my honest opinion. Is that so? Yep, it's 100% so. Personally, I don't think Cassiopeia feels any hate or resentment towards Team Star. But she said that... Actually, we still don't even know if Cassiopeia is a she or a he. Because it is just a title, for the most part for us. But the thing is Cassiopeia definitely said destroy Team Star. Someone that doesn't hate Team Star wouldn't want to destroy them, right? Or, I don't know, it seems weird. It really does. But we don't have enough answers. And we can't really piece together those puzzle pieces without the full picture, for sure. But it definitely feels like Cassiopeia is leading us down the wrong path, though I do feel that way. I still feel that way, based on everything we've learned. But, let's continue. No, there must be some other reason behind Operation Starfall. But what could it be? That is a good question, Clavell. Well, I'd be best get back to keeping watch. Call for me if you decide to take on the base, okay? Okay, Clavell. See you later. But yeah. Definitely not sure. Oh, there's someone else here. Just with the last one with Don Atticus. Oh, hey, Lurantis. I like that Pokemon. It's pretty cool to see. I like Lurantis and its little contrary ability. I feel like if it had more moves that it can take advantage with contrary, because I feel like it could definitely be a really, really good Pokemon under the right circumstances for good old Lurantis right over there. I love the Praying Mantis, the Rose Mantis Pokemon just in general. That's an awesome design for me. I don't know if anyone else likes Pokemon as much as I do, but I really do feel like it's one of my favorite designs of any Pokemon. But honestly, for the fact that we are taking on let's be honest here, a fairy type leader here, we definitely need to be careful. But we do have exactly what we need, because we do have a Steel type, we have Dark type moves, and we also have Poison. We have enough to deal with Fairy, but it doesn't mean that we're in the clear. But we do have enough things to deal with Ortega here if we are, in a tight bind. Because we still need to worry about Reverie, which is going to be a Fairy type here. So we need to be careful. But let's see what's going on with this person over here. I will return later when it is time for the young master's piano lesson. Young master's piano lesson? Okay, so this must be someone, well, attached to Ortega's family in some way. Until then, please give him my regards. Yes, Mr. Harrington? Mr. Harrington? Hello, Harrington. Hello? Who are you? And who might you be, young man? A friend of the young master, perhaps? I'm honestly not sure. Ah, I see. Since you seem unaware, I must inform you that this is the base of Team Star's fairy crew, the Ruckball Squad, led by young Master Ortega. Oh, thanks for the introduction, Mr. Harrington. Mr. Harrington, I don't think we're supposed to be giving out that information. These Team Star members are always out there sometimes when it comes to the grunts. No, then please accept my apologies. It's all good, Harrington. Do you have any idea as to who this young man might be? Do you? He's no friend of ours, you know. I think he might be here to try and take us on. Yep, maybe. Does that mean we have to fight off with Harrington based on our last interactions with other people attached to these stories? Understood. In that case, I take it you're an adversary of the young master. I guess that follows? Is that so? Well then, that leaves me with one last thing to ask of you. What's that, Mr. Harrington? Would you be so kind as to indulge me in a quick battle? Yeah, of course. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Yeah, we can do that. Splendid. Then let us begin. Okay, we'll do this, Mr. Harrington. So based on the fact that we know that Ortega, based on our notes, comes from a cushy upbringing, I'm guessing this might be his butler. Okay then. So kind of like Alfred, because he always says Master Bruce, and stuff like that. That's kind of why I'm getting that idea. But, okay then. Well, nice to meet you, Harrington. Honestly, I like his name, in my opinion. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. I know that Pokemon. The pre-evolution to Grimmsnarl. Some Wargrim. We need to be careful, though, because this is technically a dark fairy type. So, we need to be careful about that one. Thing is we don't need to be careful when we have a hammer the size of, just in general Timbuktu. So, let's just smack this kind in the next century with, Amy Rose's hammer and, get this guy on out of here, I think. Sorry, Margrim, but you're not gonna like this at all. Yeah, you gotta try harder than that. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, well, honestly, let's be honest here. Tinkatonir is definitely not the easiest Pokemon for many, but Hatterene. Okay, so Hatterene is Psychic Fairy, right? So, I think we're still good here. So let's just keep out with... Oh, actually, that's a pre-evolution. Okay, I was thinking of the final evolution of this Pokemon. But the thing is, it's still Psychic Fairy, so we should be able to go to Brutal Swing here. So, I'm gonna say, let's go for it, because it is Psychic type, so this should do a decent amount. It was pretty decent. Didn't do as much damage as I thought it would, but it is going Calm Mind, so it's not really gonna affect us much. Although it is raising its special defense, but the thing is we're full physical. Oh, you tormented me. When did you do that? I didn't even realize you did that. Well, can't really use the same move twice. So now all of our abilities is basically Geeta Hammer. But, might as well just go for it. You have the chance to. No reason not to, right? But get the little bit of experience for taking down good old Butler Harrington here. And prepare for Ortega shortly after. So let's be honest here. Now we gotta deal with the Star Barrage, but that's not really a fight. The only real fight here is Ortega after this. Well. Yep, well indeed. But sorry, Harrington, we had to beat you. But honestly, I'll take that as a friendly fight, in my opinion. An outstanding performance. However, be aware that young Master Ortega's battle prowess far surpasses my paltry skills. It's all good. You didn't really get a chance to fight, though, to be honest. You would do well to take care. I'll try. Thanks, Harrington, for the warning. Now, if you'll excuse me. Hasta la Vistar. I like how the grunt just randomly said that for him. That gentlemanly guy used to be the director of the Academy, I think. Wait, what? Now that's interesting. Because Clavell is the director right now. So Harrington was the original director. That's weird. So we had an original student the student council president being Giacomo, now Nemona, and the original director being Harrington, and now Clavell. That's strange. Weird. But interesting. Huh. Okay then. But let's see here. I think, at least that's what I heard. Now he's like tutoring the boss or something. He shows up here sometimes to take the boss to his lessons. Hang on, why am I explaining this to you? Good question. There's no doubting you're here to make trouble, so I'm gonna go let everybody know. Fair enough. Hasta la Vistar. Okay, hasta la Vistar. We'll see you grunts later for sure. But, oh, here we go. Cassiopeia is definitely calling.
I see. The guard has been dealt with. Good job.
Yeah, definitely good job.
That base belongs to Team Star's Fairy Crew, the Wreck Bus Squad. Their boss, Ortega, is the mechanic of the team.
Mechanic? He's a mechanic? I did not get that vibe off of him, but okay then. I thought he was fashion, but Atticus is fashion, so I'm even more confused on that one. Okay then.
He may be the youngest of the bosses, but his battle skills are no joke. Underestimate him, and things will go south for you quickly. He's also real lead from the back type. He gets his grunts to do all the dirty work for him. But his weak point is his short fuse. Get him good and angry, he'll march out to the front lines himself. To deal with you himself, of course. In terms of tactics, there's nothing else for it, but to take down all the lackeys he sends your way.
Okay, makes sense. So he uses his... So like a chessboard, he sends all his pawns in first, and then he goes in for the attack. Okay, interesting. So we need to watch out for the Queen Gambit that he might try and do on us. Or Queen's Gambit, I should say. But, okay, interesting.
I'll just tough it out until Ortega shows up, and go from there. Ring the bell on the gates once you're ready to kick off this phase of the operation. Time to wipe the Rockford squad off the map, I say.
Okay. Still not sure if I really want to wipe them off the map. But it's our only option, let's be honest here. So, ring the bell, let them know we're here, and let's get on in there. Are you ready to challenge Team Star using the first 3 Pokemon in your party? I believe so. So, ring the bell, let them know that we're ready for war, and let's do this. So, Clive, hope you're ready. But here we go. Code Red, Operation Starfall alerts. Everyone get into position and defend the boss with all you've got. And rest assured, intruder, we'll deal with you without the boss's help. Unless you manage to beat 30 of our Pokemon in 10 minutes, that is. Good luck with that. I'm gonna be honest here. I've defeated all your, bases in less than, 2 minutes, so, sure. But here we go. Defeat 30 of them within 10 minutes. Ooh, Florgus. Okay, then. Well, I should be perfectly fine, because let's be honest here, we have a lot of good Pokemon here for any kind of Pokemon we might be dealing with here. Ooh, Mimikyu. I like seeing good old Mimikyu, little Spooks, from Sword and Shield specifically, if we were going to go by names. But, definitely like to see that. Can I? No, I can't. Okay, I was curious if we can go on top of good old Miraidon during these. Okay, we got Meryl. Ooh, that could be a bad one for Grim specifically. Grim's taking on the Meryl though, but there is a Zoomer and we need to be careful about that one. But the thing is we do need to be very careful on the fights that we pick up. But as long as we, prepare for them safely and be careful with what we actually take on, we definitely will be fine. Thing is I'm actually quite surprised that Jigglypuff is actually flying in this game, because it is something it can do in Smash Bros. So it's actually pretty interesting to see in-game, just in general. But still doing good. 15 down, and we're still basically full health on everything. But we do have more rooms, and I'm not sure... okay, you gonna go in there, Sammy? You need to smack around here, because that's how we're gonna force the rest of our team out. There we go. 3 more. See if we can still do this way faster than 10 minutes. I don't know how it would take you 10 minutes to do this, to be completely honest. We're taking on the pre-evolutions of Tinkaton here and completely destroying them. So, honestly, I think we're perfectly fine here. But based on the fact that I'm seeing the pre-evolutions to Sylvia here, I'm not sure how I feel about that one. Just based on the fact that we feel like Poppy is going to be, a Steel-type user, based on, obviously, the little key that she had around her neck, giving off the vibe of, well, the clothing she wears is gray, the little key, obviously, is made out of metal, and, honestly, I get the vibe of a Steel-type trainer from her. I would think that Tinkaton would be one of her Pokemon, but honestly, Ortega could also have Tinkaton too. So, either way, we need to be careful. But here we go. Finally on Ortega now, though. Our defenses are breached. It's all up to the boss now. Yep, it definitely is. So, Ortega, I hope you're ready here, buddy, because it's time to finally take you on. And that only leaves us one more Team Star boss and Star Barrage left after Ortega, too. Harry, the fighting type leader. And here we go. Good old Ortega. Boss of Team Star's fairy crew, Ortega. He kind of reminds me of Bayday, too, which is interesting. Who? So your Spooks okay? Talk about underwhelming. I was expecting someone I knew a little more beefed up. Beefed up, you say? Well, whatever. I don't care who you are. Not like I'm gonna lose to you anyways. If you think fairy types are all about cuteness, you're in for a nasty surprise. What, do you have a Grimmsnarl? Because that's definitely a fairy type that's pretty, a nasty surprise for just design of it, obviously, but it is a pretty good Pokemon nonetheless. You were challenged by Ortega of Team Star. the leader of the Ruckba squad. But Azumarill, okay, well that's a cute Pokemon, so far your, judgment on that.
I promise I'll play nice, so don't blame me when the battle sends you back to where you started.
Okay. Well, like I said, Azumarill is definitely not a Pokemon I'm scared of. Thing is, you need to play safe here, you need to play smart. Because Gigaton Hammer is what we're going to be using on Fairy types, for sure. Azumarill is very tanky. So I'm going to say, let's go straight for Terastallization, I think. Because, let's be honest here, we should be pretty fast. Because, let's be honest here, Sylvia is our fastest Pokemon on our team. So, we're going to definitely take advantage of that. And, let's be honest here, Gigaton Hammer is definitely making Sylvia the strongest Pokemon on our team as well. So, let's be honest here, Sylvia has definitely taken up the spot of what normally your strongest Pokemon would be your starter. Well, let's be honest here, Sylvia has definitely become our strongest Pokemon on our team, single-handedly just because of its ability. And here we go, Dash Bun. Okay, that was a pure Fairy type, right? Obviously the evolution of... trying to remember the pre-evolution's name, but the thing is obviously a Pokemon we can easily deal with. So let's keep out. Dashbun is an earlier game Pokemon, technically, so we should be fine. Thing is we never actually really fought one, so we do need to be careful here. Thing is, I'm gonna maybe go for Play Rough here, because we might be able to drop its attack. I don't like the idea of us losing attack, though, so we need to be careful about that one, just because of the fact that the more attack we lose, the worse it's going to be when we finally get to the Reverie. Because let's be honest here, once Reverie gets going, that's when things get really bad. So, we need to be careful. With 2 Pokemon down, we still have a pretty healthy Sylvia here, so Tinkaton's definitely doing good here. Okay, Wigglytuff. Still an easy Pokemon. All cute Pokemon. So, not really sure on the fact that you said Fairy types are, don't misunderstand, or, think that Fairy types are all, cute. Because I was thinking you were gonna have, a Grimmsnarl or something, but you didn't. So, I'm kind of caught off guard by that one. I'm gonna go Slam, though, here. Because it might hit, and Slam's actually pretty good here compared to doing Play Rough on a Wigglytuff. But we are getting hit with Charm. We lost a little bit more attack. We definitely want to go back into Gigaton, since this should be able to get rid of Wigglytuff here. But the thing is it might survive based on the fact that we have -3 attack. But down goes Wigglytuff, and here we go for the final Pokemon, the real thing we need to be worrying about, the Rivaroom. What the heck? Why is my team on the roofs? That's totally not fair. Honestly, fair is fair when, you start making me worry about your Rivaroom. Misty Surge. Misty Surge, you say? Let's see here. For 5 turns, Pokemon on the ground won't get any status conditions. Damage from Dragon-type moves is halved. Okay then, well it's a Fairy type, so Dragon type wouldn't even hit it. But interesting. Okay, so I can't be hit by a status ability. Okay, interesting. Well, first things first is I need to get back my attack I lost, at least by 1. So if I have a -1, I'll be better with that than having a full negative Steamroller. Okay, I was thinking that was going to be worse. Okay, good thing we are, oh, he got rid of his own terrain. Oopsie, did you just realize how unmatched you are? If you want to give up now, you can. Okay, well, you did nothing to me, you got rid of your own terrain. Oh, I thought X-Attack would... okay then, I'm quite surprised about that one. Okay, we'll just go and attack, of course you have Confuse Ray. Okay, so Steamroller, Confuse Ray. Okay, 1 attack doesn't hurt me. Confuse Ray can be a problem, but not the worst case scenario for us, since 2 moves don't hurt us. So, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not too scared yet. Obviously, the Torque ability, being Fairy type, other than that, so Steel-type move, Fairy-type move, we still don't know what the final attack is, but we're still doing good, but Rough Boss Starmobile, that is a huge hit. Okay, that is huge. Okay, let's go play rough. We might be able to drop some attack here. We got hit by a Confuse Ray again. Wait, did we break out of Confusion right away or something? I didn't even realize that. Just because, normally you don't break out of Confusion on the first turn. Let's see here, do we still hit through it? Okay, cool. Hit another play rough, which is good. Didn't lower attack, but it is a May, so it missed, or it hit, but it missed out on the minus attack. But we're still doing good. So Sylvia, just keep hitting. Just don't miss up now. Oh, we got hits. Not the best thing. Does that cancel out our Gigaton Hammer? It doesn't. Okay, good. So even though we technically messed that up, we still have our Gigaton Hammer for another hit. So as long as we hit ourselves again, okay, well that's not good. It's really not good. But because we did spend a lot of time with the, with Don Atticus's Rever Room, let's be careful. Let's send in our max potion. We get to keep our terrestrialization through the entire battle as long as Sylvia doesn't go down. So let's just keep Sylvia healthy and just prepare for a Gigaton Hammer once we actually get it. Because I'm not playing around with Starmobiles, because I already know how hard these things can snowball if we let it. Still confused though, which I'm surprised about, but we did get the Gigaton Hammer, and down definitely goes down the Starmobile, and down goes Ortega. Sorry buddy, but you were a lot easier than Atticus was. But the thing is we were about the same level as Atticus, and we had a much harder time with him. Well, let's be honest here, we didn't have anything for poison types. But I will be honest, that was much easier. But the thing is Steel type is really good against Fairy. So, honestly, we still did pretty good, just because of that in general. So Sylvia was definitely a worthwhile Pokemon to pick up, just because Sylvia has definitely made her mark on this team, for sure. But let's see what Ortega's got for us. How could I lose? What the heck? Sorry, Ortega, but we had to take you down. Boss's orders. About a year and a half ago. Oh, what the heck? Said the same thing a year and a half ago. Your toy car didn't budge an inch, huh? I told you, it's not a toy. It's called the Starmobile, and I was all night building it. Oh, so Ortega built every single Starmobile. So that's what they meant by mechanic. Interesting. Well, based on the fact that it said he has a cushy upbringing, he has enough funds to make something like that happen, so I guess it makes a little bit more sense now. Huh. Interesting. But with a fourth of the Team Star members down, there's only one member left, Harry. So, honestly, I'm terrified based on what we can see based on the description of Aerie. It says that Aerie is an extremely dangerous opponent. So we need to be very careful once we finally get to her. But honestly, Ortega was not that bad for the second strongest of the group. So honestly, it could be just because Sylvia. But honestly, I feel like we still would have done a lot of damage just because we weren't taking much damage from River Room. It was just the confusion was honestly the biggest parts that was really affecting us. Because Sylvia, I feel, isn't super tanky. So, I'm gonna be honest, I felt like we were doing perfectly fine against that Pokemon. I don't feel like it had that much attack that time around, which is weird. Let's continue though.
The problem is clearly that we're not giving it enough juice. You designed this thing to be powered by 2 Charcadet, but it's just too heavy.
Wait, it's powered by Charcadets? That's interesting. Huh. Interesting. Based on the fact that we know that Melee trained Charcadets back in her past. Huh. Weird, but I like it though.
That's such a shame. I wanted to see the looks on the bullies' faces once we got moving.
Oh, I'm sorry. I really thought it would work.
Come on, good fellow, 'tis no occasion for melancholy. Why to make such a remarkable contraption by thine own hands, genius thy name is Ortega?
Yes. Well, there's no point if it doesn't work, is there? If I knew all the effort would have zero payout, I'd have just asked Mother to buy a car for us. Well, that probably would have worked out better for you.
Oh, see? This is why people don't take you seriously. You say some stupid things, you know that.
What?
Mela, cool it, will you?
Oh, yeah, how about no? I mean, we even put this in the code for crying out loud. When we started Team Star, we swore to quit relying on our parents or bags of cash to fix our problems for us. Or did you forget?
That's an interesting code to take up. Huh. So they wanted to, completely do this on their own. That's very interesting in code for bad guys. Huh. Cassiopeia is really making me feel really strange about her. And the same thing with Toro, too. Toro seems off, based on what we heard from Arven. Because Arven said that it was the first time he's even heard from his dad in a year. And the first thing he wants him to do is an errand boy job, of all things. That is... yeah, there's a lot of questions going on with the two stories outside of Victory Road. But, interesting though.
If that hunk of junk doesn't move, get it moving. If we're short on juice, you just gotta crank up the power somehow. Doesn't take a genius, man.
That's easy enough to say, matey. Do you have an actual plan?
Yep. I'm gonna train up my Charcadet and have them evolve. Their boosted firepower will get the Starmobile moving. No sweats.
Well, you can't just evolve it via training. I'm sorry about that one. You need some armor. We already learned that one the hard way.
The hour of Operation Stone is nigh at hand. Will you succeed in time?
I'll get it done.
Okay, then. Melee, wait. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, it just seems like they were just trying to get back at their own bullies. And that's basically it for the Operation Star. But the Cassiopeia mission, that's seemingly the same name, but Starfall instead of Operation Star, is very weird. And Cassiopeia said that she had connections with Team Star in the past. But we've never seen Cassiopeia in any of these past events. So, I'm very confused. Was Cassiopeia just a random grunt? Was it a person of notes? It doesn't seem like it. It's weird. It's very weird whatever Cassiopeia's involvement in Team Star was. It doesn't seem like it's enough of a thing for us to... of why they would want to destroy Team Star. Which is weird. Huh. A lot of questions, not enough answers about this. But maybe we'll get more once we get to Aerie for sure. You knew. Mela shoots her mouth. Oh, I know this guy, Kamo.
Mela shoots her mouth off an awful lot. But she means well, of course.
I knew. Golf stinks. Okay, then. Well, there's a year and a half past events. But not enough. But we did learn that Ortega was the one that made the Starmobile, though. Which we did not know before. So interesting. Okay, then. So now we know why Ortega was a key part of Team Star. That's interesting. This sucks. I hate myself for losing, but I also can't get over how awesome you were in that battle. Well, that's good to hear. Thanks. If any of our squad bosses are defeated, that means we step down. And going against our code would make me a traitor to the team. Fine. Not like I have a choice anyways, so take the badge already. You better treat it with the respect it deserves. Well, thanks, Ortega. We'll take your badge. Team Star's ferry crew defeated. The ferry boss badge is all Starfall Street. Second to last mission complete. And it's also I noticed that the Starmobile's in the back. I like how our character's like, I'm sorry we had to defeat you. So even our character is noticing that this is not the best path. So why do we keep pushing it? If our character even feels like it's wrong. Honestly, for fun. Let's be honest here. But I really don't know. I feel like dealing with Team Star might lead us to Cassiopeia, though, maybe. That would make a lot of sense to me. But I also feel like it's going to lead us to whoever this boss, real boss of Team Star is, that we have yet to hear about, like, hear from, or see, or apparently Team Star's never even met them. So, other than non-physically. So, definitely a lot of questions, a lot of answers still left to be solved. But definitely pieces of the puzzle are starting to finally connect to a point where it's starting to make a little bit more sense. And I'm starting to get a little bit of, like, theories in my head. But I want to go through Aerie first before I start spouting my theories, before we get to whatever is going to be the final part of the story. But I am starting to form some theories, though. But let's continue. I'm not done yet. Here's my favorite TM2. Feel free to marvel how awesome it is. Is it that? Oh no, it's Dazzling Gleam. Thank you. I'll definitely take Dazzling Gleam. That's a good ability. But TM79 is now in your bag's TM pocket. Dazzling Gleam, user damages opposing Pokemon by emitting a powerful flash. Basically, damage. That's the best possible way of saying it. And just so you knew, you're the worst, like the most annoying person ever. But I get it. You're super strong, I'll admit that. Much. You've even busted up my Starmobile. Okay. Oh, and here's Harrington. Young Master Ortega. So is it Butler? I feel like it is, based on, Master Ortega. But, we'll honestly figure out in a second. Mr. Harrington, guess it's time for my piano lesson. As it happens, I just lost my boss title, so I'm all good to head on home. Actually, different matter brought me. There's somebody I would like you to meet. Oh, Clive. Or Clavell. And we're going with Clive based on character interaction. But good to see you, Clive. Long time no see, buddy. He's a distant acquaintance of mine.
The name's Clive.
Okay. What's your business here?
I want you to tell me something. You're the son of a wealthy family and heir to a major apparel company, so why join a group like Team Star in the first place?
What a question to ask someone you just met. Well, my answer's the same as everyone else's in the team. It's 'cause I was being bullied.
And there's a fourth person.
4 people, all bullied. And Cassiopeia has yet to give us a real reason to take down them. I really, really feel like Cassiopeia is the bad person, and we're being led astray. I really do. I like that we're actually doing a technical villain story, though, because I always thought that would be cool to be the villain in one of these stories, but Nintendo really doesn't do villain stories very often in any games, and they have a really good chance of doing that with, like, Wario and Waluigi, because Waluigi, poor guy's never even been in a main story game, and he's only been in, like, the party games, so I really feel like they could do something really, really cool with, like, Mario and Luigi specifically. If you were to do a Mario and Luigi game with Wario and Waluigi, I think that would be the perfect part to add Waluigi into the main stories for Mario, and even add Wario specifically into a mainline title for the first time in a long time, too. But honestly, yeah, definitely, just in general, I like the idea of having a bad storyline of being a bad character, although not on purpose. I do like the idea of, technically we're doing the wrong thing, but at the same time we're thinking we're doing the right thing. It's definitely an interesting storyline compared to everything we've had in previous Pokemon games, and it's definitely fresh. I can definitely say that one. Let's continue.
So the Academy really did used to have an issue with bullying.
Who would guess, right? The school is all rainbows and butterflies these days, and the bullies from back then don't even go to the Academy anymore.
Why? What happened to them?
As the former director of the Academy, I believe I am the best positioned to answer that question.
Mr. Harrington.
About 18 months ago, the members of Team Star confronted the students who used to bully them, and an altercation broke out between the groups. Though it did not escalate into major incidents, the altercation nonetheless caused a scandal of the hitherto unknown proportions. As a result of what occurred that day, the students who had perpetrated the bullying dropped out of the Academy one after another. So this must be Operation Star that we've been hearing about.
But there aren't any records of that anywhere in the Academy.
No, I shouldn't imagine not. My former deputy deleted all records of the incident, you see.
What? Why would anyone do that?
Just as I was puzzling over how best to deal with Team Star in the aftermath of that incident, a certain student came to see me. The student declared that they would take all responsibility for the team's actions.
All responsibilities?
Is it one of the Team Star bosses? In exchange, they requested that I exonerate the other students of Team Star from any blame.
No one told me that.
Really? So maybe it wasn't any of the Team Star bosses then. Who would absolve all blame to themselves? That's weird. I accepted the request and agreed not to take any disciplinary action against Team Star. Then I assigned 18 months of overseas study to them, to the student who took responsibility for the team. That's interesting. I got an idea. That's probably the boss. Because they said they haven't seen the boss, or heard from the boss, in a long, long time. That could be the boss. So 18 months ago. So that's what's happened to them, so they've been moved to another, obviously a different region. Interesting.
A year and a half of studying abroad.
This was not intended as a punishment, you understand. Team Star were the victims after all. I wanted the student to take some time to rest, so I had them return home to the Galar region. That's interesting. So the boss is from Galar. Could it be someone we met in Sword and Shield? That's interesting. Under the pretext of overseas study. Around that time, however, the former deputy director took it upon himself to erase all traces of the incident from the Academy's servers. It appears his intent was to shield himself from any blame.
So he tried to cover up the whole thing. That's terrible.
After we discovered what he had done, I dealt with him appropriately, of course. But the inability of myself and the rest of the teaching staff to prevent this terrible act also represented a grave blunder on our parts. I accepted the blame that lay at my feet and resigned from my position as director. The rest of the teaching staff then joined me in handing in their notices. That's... So literally the whole regime of Harrington's, leading of Uva Academy was replaced for what is now Clive's, or Clavell's. I'm calling him Clive because of, technically he's Clive right now. But, interesting. There's a lot of layers to this that I'm starting to understand. But still though, who's this mystery boss from Galar? If that even is the boss.
So that's why the current teachers were all brought in a year and a half ago.
Apparently so. I understand my actions have caused you a great deal of trouble. You have my sincere apologies.
Hang on, Mr. Harrington. How come you suddenly decided to talk about this now?
Young Master Ortega, Team Star cannot carry on in its current fashion. I merely wish to give you a chance to chart a better course. Which is honestly the best thing for everyone in Team Star.
Well, there's no way I'm abandoning my friends and going to school without them, not after we've come this far.
Your friends in Team Star must mean a great deal to you.
Isn't that obvious? It's 'cause you knew they're my greatest treasure in the whole wide world.
Just like every other Team Star member we've taken down. They all think of each other as their treasure, including their boss. So, interesting. Very, very interesting. But we're not done here yet. We've still got Cassiopeia, and obviously Penny, because Penny's the, material deliverer after these. But I still don't understand Penny's involvement either. Why's she been forced into this as well? But honestly, I guess we'll find out later. But here we go, Cassiopeia time.
Spooks, it's me.
Hey Cassiopeia, long time no see. Starting to really not trust you now.
I take it that Ortega handed over his star badge to you then.
Yep, he did.
I see. With its boss no longer around, the Rockbus squad is as good as finished.
Yep, that is true.
Even Ortega.
Even Ortega?
I'm sorry. We're almost there now. Just one boss left. The operation's been a huge success, thanks to you, Spooks. And Clive has also performed admirably as your support.
Yep, true there.
I remember him saying that your acquaintances. Have you known each other long?
Yeah, for a while now, or not all that long. We're gonna say yes because we said we would help Clive stay in character. So, because obviously we know it's Clavell, and he asked us to please call him Clive from now on, if he's playing as Clive. And I think we're gonna say yeah for a while now. Yeah, we've known him for quite a long amount of time.
Well, he's clearly a reliable friend. He almost reminds me of the gang back in the day.
Back in the day, or which gang? Back in what day do you mean by that?
As you know, Team Star was formed by a group of students who were being bullied at the school. Shortly after forming the team, these students, none other than the squad bosses themselves, confronted their bullies head-on. The outcome was a resounding victory for Team Star.
Okay, which we learned from what we heard from Harrington and Clive there. Or Clavell. But, okay.
Though you could hardly call it a contest. Those bullies didn't even put up a fight. They all bolted from battle the first chance they got. Scared spitless of Team Star, the bullies had dropped out of school, one after another, and Team Star ended up being villains of the story.
Yep, that's definitely the case from what we heard. Interesting, though. Very, very interesting.
But that's neither here nor there. Forget I mentioned it.
Nope, I'm not forgetting that one. That's very specific that you know that.
Now about your reward. I'll transfer some LP over to your phone, as promised.
Okay, we'll take it. 10,000 more, I'll take that. Definitely taking that. 10,000 free dollars is always good. And as well as some new TMs we can use.
Make good use of those TMs. They should help you take on the last remaining boss. My supply unit rep will be along soon, to give you your bonus reward, of course.
Okay, goodbye Cassiopeia. One last Team Star member left. And here's Penny. Like always, every single time we take down a Team Star member, her supply rep is here. With no real reason for why Penny's connected. But still confuses me nonetheless. But, hey Penny, long time no see.
Here I am.
Hey Penny, long time no see indeed. And good old Miraidon's here to see you again.
Quad, stay on your Pokeball for one, told you.
Nope. Miraidon likes you. So sorry about that one, Penny. Reminds me of, just in general for, Snoopy and, the one girl from the Peanuts. I forgot her name. Obviously, not my generation. It's just like, I know of the interaction between the girl that pulls the football up from Charlie Brown in those stories and Snoopy, where she's like, yuck, dog. Or even, I guess you can also say Myrtle from, Lilo and Stitch would be another example of that. But definitely interesting, though. Nonetheless, between Miraidon and Penny. Let's continue, though, with this story, because I'm starting to get puzzles and pieces together. But I'm still missing something. Something's missing from those pieces. Person. Whoever this person that is Team Star's boss, I want to know who they are, and if we'll even meet them, because I'm really invested in finding out who this is, because this is a grand mystery for sure.
Well, Team Star went through all that, huh? They just wanted the boys to go away, but then they became the bad guys in everyone's eyes. What a joke. The students and teachers are also messed up. If even just one of them had been paying attention when everyone was getting bullied, they'd have been able to tell right away that Team Star wasn't the one in the wrong. But I guess the big boss was the one who urged everyone to face their bullies despite knowing how messed up the Academy is.
Well, the Academy's not messed up anymore, based on the fact that Clavell has no, knowing of anything going on. And based on what we're hearing from Team Star, from Ortega himself, he said that apparently it's, rainbows and kittens now, compared to what he was going through, and everyone else in Team Star was going through. So, interesting.
I'm not an idiot creating Team Star and just hoping their plan will miraculously work out.
I don't know about that. You really think so? You really think so?
I think sure of it. Here's your reward.
Okay. I still don't know if the boss is a villain either, though. I really don't think anyone in Team Star is a villain. I think it's this person that's been forcing us to destroy Team Star, really. I really do feel like that. But I'll take the materials, though.
The next boss, the very last one, we're counting on you, Spooks.
Okay, see you later, Penny. But yeah, I think once we face off with the finals Team Star boss, I think then we'll know for sure who really is in the wrong. Because somebody is in the wrong, or maybe nobody is. It's really a real good question in the end, for sure. But with that being said, we definitely have one mission left. One main mission. The final member of Team Star, Aerie, also known as the fighting type Team Star leader, also known as the most extremely dangerous opponents of our mainline story. So, with that being said, we're definitely getting ready for the CAF squad and the fighting crew base in the next one. So, with that being said, thank you all for watching. have a wonderful rest of your day, keep being spooky, and peace out.
Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.